All right, for number 51, we have a kind of a unique situation here. We have a mass here, M1, a mass M2, and then there's a rod that connects them. But the rod goes through M2 and sticks out here. The rod has a total length L. We're going to have the rotation point be at the center of the rod. Right here, mass 1 is at the one end of the rod, but mass 2 is not. It's a quarter of the distance from the other side. And we want to find out what the moment of inertia of this spinning rod is. Remember, I is just summing up the I of all the different objects. So I essentially have the I of mass 1 plus I of mass 2 plus the I from the rod, the moment of inertia of the rod. Well, these are point sources, so we can just plug them in. This is just going to be M1 times the distance squared. And the distance squared here is L over 2 squared, because this is our rotation point right there, our rotation axis. And then M2 times this distance, but its distance is L over 4 squared. And then the I of the rod, we look that up. We go to page 300 and we look it up in a table and we find L for a rod spun around its center of mass, which this is equal to 1/12 mL squared. And this is from the table. Table page 300. So I'm just going to put that in. That's 1/12 mL squared. All right. And notice the rod is capital M. So we've got M1, M2, and capital M. We aren't given any numbers. We want to just try to solve this best we can, or simplify it, I should say, without putting any numbers in. But let's expand and see what we do. So this is going to be M1 times L squared over 4. L squared, I'm just expanding that. Plus M2 L squared over 16. Plus capital M, L squared over 2. So now there's several ways to simplify this. I'm going to pull out, notice there's an L squared in all of them. I'm going to pull out the L squared, and there's also a 1/2 in all of them. So I'm going to pull out the 1/2. Yeah, I guess I'll pull out the, I'm sorry, this is 12th. Why did I lose that? Yeah. Actually, let's pull out the 4th, because that's the smallest of all those. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to simplify this and say, okay, I got L squared over 4 times the quantity M1 plus, and if I pull out this becomes M squared over 4, or it's not squared, M2 over 4. Because if I multiplied M2 over 4 times L squared over 4, then the 4 times 4 becomes 16. This becomes M squared, L squared, M2 L squared on the top. And in this case, we pull out a 4, this becomes big M over 3. Because 3 times 4 will give you 12 on the bottom, and you got ML squared on the top. So this is pretty much as simplified as I can make it. Right here. All right. That's the answer to number 51.